Hello and welcome to the analysis of the Hindu newspaper dated January 22nd, 2023. In this video, we are going to talk about two important newspaper articles which are going to be very important, very significant for the civil services examination. So let's start with the first important newspaper article. Now, this particular newspaper article is regarding the UNESCO World Heritage Site. We are going to discuss this particular World Heritage Site, what is its relevance, and what is its relevance in the politics of today as well, right? So, this article is going to be very important for the GS paper 1, that is art and culture. And apart from it, it can also find a mention in the prelims examination, right? So we are going to first understand the context of it, and then we will understand the insights into this particular newspaper article. So now the center has decided to nominate Assam's Charaidev Medams, which is the home equivalent of the ancient Egyptian pyramids. In Egyptian pyramids, what is there? Mummies are there, right? Mummies of the people, of the royalties. So similar is the case with the Ahom's sites, which are named as Charaidev Medams or Moidams for the UNESCO. Now these have been nominated for the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and if approved by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, then they will become the UNESCO World Heritage Site. They will get world recognition, right? So this nomination is itself very significant, right? And that is why we are going to discuss what is Charaidev Medams. We are also going to discuss who are the Ahoms, and we are also going to discuss the politics behind it, right? So Charaidev Medams are basically the representation of the late medieval 13th to 19th century, and these are the mounds or the burial tradition of the Thai Ahom community. Now, out of 386 medams or moidams explored so far, 90 royal burials at the Charaidev are best preserved, making them showpieces of mound burial tradition of the Ahoms. Now, the Ahoms used to bury their people, right? So the royalties were buried in these medams or moidams. So now the Charaidev medams enshrine the mortal remains of the members of the Ahom royalty, which used to be buried with their paraphernalia. What is paraphernalia? The belongings of them, right? Whatever the gold, silver is there. Along with that, these royalties were buried in this medams or moidams. And the nomination of Charaidev Medams have attained significance at a time when the country is celebrating 400th birth anniversary of Lachit Barphukan. Now, who is Lachit Barphukan? We will further discuss who is Lachit Barphukan, but at this particular point of time, you need to just know the fact that he was a legendary Ahom general who fought against the Mughals in the 1671. Now, the Ahom rule lasted for about 600 years until the British annexed Assam in 1826. Now, Charaidev, more than 400 km east of Guwahati, was the first capital of the Ahom dynasty, founded by Chow Lung Seo Ka Pha in 1253. Now the name is significant, right? Now the name is not very native. It doesn't seem very native to India, and that is why some of the theories suggested that he was the annexer. He came from the China's part, or the modern day China, and he came into this particular region. This is the particular theory regarding it. We can't say anything about it, but this is the theory which has been suggested. Now, after the 18th century, what happened is that the Britishers annexed the Ahom empire, and the Ahom rulers adopted the Hindu method of cremation and began entombing the cremated bones and ashes in the Medam at the Charaidev. Earlier, the bodies used to be there. Bodies used to be brought to this to these medams. Now the cremated bones and the ashes are going to be brought in the medams after the 18th century. Now, who were the Ahoms? Ahoms were basically the rulers of what? Rulers of the present day Assam, and the founder of this particular dynasty, that is the Ahoms, was was the Chaolung Sukapa, and they created, the Ahoms created a new state by suppressing the older political system of the Bhuyans, that is the landlord system. Landlord system was suppressed and the Ahom dynasty came into being. Now the Ahom state depended upon the forced labor, and these forced to work, and those forced to work for the state were called the Peks. Now these were the peasants, modern day peasants. Now they are equivalent to the Peks. Now the Ahom society was divided into clans or khels. A khel often controlled the several villages. Now the Ahoms worshipped their own tribal gods, but instead of imposing their own language, religion and rituals on communities living in the Assam, they accepted the Hindu religion and the Assamese language. Now these Ahoms came from outside India, outside of Assam, right? And they did not impose their own language upon the Assamese. They adopted the Assamese language and became the part of India. They also adopted the Hindu religion, which was a dominant religion in the Assam, and they became Assamese, right? However, the Ahom kings did not completely give up their traditional beliefs after adopting Hinduism, and that is why the Medams we can see, which are very not native to India, but they became native after a period of time. Now, Ahom society was very sophisticated. Poets and scholars were given land grants, and theatre was encouraged. Important works of the Sanskrit were translated into the local languages. These were some of the contributions of the Ahoms, and historical works known as Buranjis were also written first in the Ahom language and then in the Assamese. And most of the Sukapas people were men who later married women from the communities living in the Assam, and intermarriage also increased assimilation process. This assimilation process led to the Ahoms converting into the Hinduism. Right. So this is regarding the Ahoms. Now, who is Lachit Borkupan? So basically, he was born on 24th November 1622. Borkupan was known for his leadership in the Battle of Saraighat. Saraighat happened between the Ahom kingdom and the Mughals. Right. Now, this was the attempt by the Mughal forces to capture the Assam, but they were thwarted back. Right. Now, he was an inspiration behind strengthening India's naval force and revitalizing inland water transport and creating infrastructure associated with it due to his great naval strategies. Now, the contribution of the Lachit Borkupan was so significant that Indian National Defense Academy, which trains basically the Indian Army officers, said that they are going to provide the Lachit Borkupan gold medal, and this will be awarded to the best cadet of the National Defense Academy. And this particular medal was instituted in 1999 to inspire defense personnel to emulate Borkupan's heroism and the sacrifice. Now, Borkupan basically died on 25th April 1672, right? So this is it regarding the Lachit Borkupan. What we have discussed? We have discussed the UNESCO World Heritage Site nomination from India, that is now Charaidev Medams. We have also talked about the Ahoms, who were basically the rulers of Assam from 13th century to the 18th century until the arrival of the Britishers, right? So this is it regarding this particular newspaper article. Let's now head to the next important newspaper article. Now, this particular newspaper article is very significant because it talks about measles and rubella, and that is why it is important for the GS paper 2, that is issues related to health. Let's first understand the context of it, and then we will further deep dive into this particular newspaper article. Now, this particular newspaper article says that in 2015, India attempted, or it set the deadline that until 2020 it will do what? It will eliminate the measles and rubella from India, but this deadline was missed. And anticipating the missing of the deadline, the government decided that in 2019, by elimination of the measles and rubella must be shifted to 2023. So at this particular point of time, goal is to eliminate measles and rubella by 2023. Now, what is measles? Measles basically is what you know in Hindi as khasra, right? A disease in the children's which lead to some kind of pigmentation in the skin skin parts, right? So this is basically the skin disease, and rubella is basically responsible for the deformation in the newborns, right? So now the measles virus is one of the world's most contagious of human viruses that kills more than 1 lakh children every year globally, and rubella is a leading vaccine preventable cause of birth defects according to the World Health Organization, right? And both measles and rubella can be prevented by just 2 doses of a safe and effective vaccine. And over the past 2 decades, the measles vaccine is estimated to have averted more than 30 million deaths globally as per the WHO statistics. In both the diseases, the symptoms are a rash and a fever, while measles has a high fatality rate among the children, that is 1 lakh children every year die due to measles. And rubella infection is basically found in pregnant women. Now the infection in the pregnant woman leads to the defect in the or the birth defects, right? Or it leads to impact on the fetus, which results in the birth defects. A child is born with some kind of defects. This is the result of rubella infection, right? So what India has done at this particular point of time to achieve the targets? So basically during the 2010 to 2013, India conducted a phased measles catch-up immunization for children aged 9 months to 10 years in 14 states, vaccinating approximately 119 million children. And Mission Indradhanush was launched in 2014, which was going to ramp up vaccinating the unvaccinated population. And during 2017 to 2021, India adopted a national strategic plans for measles and rubella immunization and introduced rubella containing vaccine, that is RCV. So both of these vaccines were introduced, but what happened is that corona happened, and that led to some kind of lacks in this particular target achievement, right? And it also transitioned from outbreak based surveillance to a case based acute fever and rash surveillance, and more than doubled the number of laboratories in the measles rubella network. Now, is the target to eliminate MR or measles rubella going to be achieved in 2023? Basically, we don't know, but the main concern is under 1 year population. But if we are able to keep up the tempo of the immunization at 95%, the second dose coverage, which means the first dose coverage has to be higher, it will be possible. Now it seems not possible at this particular point of time in 2023, but in 2020, by 2024, it may be possible, right? So, but the trick is to do it district by district, small, little by little. It's more like dream big, but start small. You have to do it district by district. You have to take it very seriously at the district level. If it is taken at the seriously at the district level, it will result in better immunization or better vaccination in the state wise, and the states vaccinations will lead to what lead to national vaccination in the MR. Now it is important to provide full support to ground level staff as well. For example, the village health nurses who are responsible for the vaccination, ASHA workers, accredited social health activists are also responsible for it, and Anganwadi and the ICDS, that is integrated child development services workers, all need to come forward in order to realize this particular aim of eliminating MR or measles and rubella. So while targets will be easier to achieve in the states such as Tamil Nadu and Kerala because they have a very robust immunization structure, it will be very difficult in the other states. So additional efforts in the states such as UP and Bihar should be taken to work towards achieving this particular target, right? So this is regarding the MR, that is measles and rubella, which is a cause of worry among the children's, right? So this is it regarding this particular newspaper article, and this is it for the day. Thank you from my side. Do like and share the video and subscribe to this channel. Have a good day. Bye.